Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Plague Inc. Evolved Custom Scenarios. We have another request from a familiar author. You guys may remember the Cult of Nyarlathotep. How do you say that? Nyarlathotep? From not too long ago. We did one and it was pretty darn good. Well, the guy has created yet another one and it is called The Ultimate Fungus. There you are, by Theoxis. Let's give it a shot. From single cellular organism to a full mushroom, will you take on the challenge of one of the most hated and boring diseases reworked? Is it the most boring and hated? I mean, it's different, I guess, yeah, and the spore burst is a little boring. Okay, fair enough. Let's give it a shot, though. All stasis genes are good in this scenario. I myself prefer pathostasis, not too unusual for the fungus. Custom symptoms, transmissions, and some unique abilities. Praise Pravus. Praise be! All right, let's give this one a shot. So instead of going for something thematic, it looks like we're actually trying to completely reprogram one of the base scenarios, which is pretty interesting. We'll go for ATP boost, Darwinist, Terracyte Extremophile, and Pathostasis as default. The Humongous Fungus. I like it. Let's go for it. Or how about just... Oh, gosh, I messed this up. Hang on. I'm going to rename it. There we go. Way better. The Humongous Fungus. It's a subtle difference, but some of you guys will get it. A new type of single-celled fungus has found a way to infect people with its spores. Where does it start? Probably Saudi Arabia, because it's a classic starting location. All right, what do we got for transmissions? What have you reworked? Looks like quite a bit, actually. Ooh, this is exciting. All right, we have Digestive Infection. The fungus survives the digestive system and is able to infect people through infected food. More infective in poor countries, unlock symptoms. Ah, you got to go down the transmissions to get more symptoms. I like it. Extra human growth. The fungus is able to survive outside vectors. Vectors? Growing on the ground and on trees. Increases effectiveness in poor and rural countries. What do you mean vectors? I'm a little confused on that. That may be something simple, but I'm having a brain fart. Sporadic transmission 1. New people are infected through spores. Increases effectiveness in arid countries, and it gives you a spore burst. Perfect for Saudi Arabia. Let's get that. Then we have skin-to-skin contact. Spores remain dormant on the skin, increasing chances of infecting another person. Increases infectivity in urban countries. So all of this is pretty useful. I do like having my special transmissions available, better resistances. So yeah, that makes me happy. More sporadic transmission. Do we want... Okay, is this a periodic spore burst? Kind of like it is if you get all the spore bursts in the abilities tree in the standard fungus? Maybe it is, in which case picking this up as soon as possible might be good, or this is my backup option in case I can't get into Greenland and I'm screwing myself if I pick it up. Not too sure, but we'll probably pick it up and give it a shot. Air 1, spores survive longer in the air, better for arid environments and plain transmission. Perfect for us. I love it, I love it, I love it. Symptoms. Cysts. Painful lumps containing pockets of the pathogen. All right, that's pretty standard. Respiratory infection. Spores that are inhaled start multiplying in the lungs. Terrifying. You've got mycelium growing inside of your lungs. Absolutely awful. Abilities. Single-celled organism. The fungus starts as a single-celled organism, making it less likely to be detected but easier for the immune system to fight. Less infectivity. So we have to have that. Probably don't want to keep it, though. What do we get next? Mycelium. Cells start to produce adhesin, making them stick together. Increases odds of surviving the host immune system, increases infectivity. Okay, a couple of things there. And then we have drug resistance, which appears to be pretty standard, but it is antifungals instead of antibiotics, which makes a bit of sense. Hey, look, a couple of spore bursts. I like it, thank you. So one of the fun things about Theoxis as the creator is in the Discord channel, the fan Discord channel, he is actually called Mushroom Inquisitor or just Mushroom? Crap, I'm going to have to look it up later. I just call him Mushroom, okay? So the fact that he's doing a fungus-related scenario is a little bit funny just for kind of personal reasons. All right, let's go for Sporadic Transmission 2. Voice, please don't fail me now. And we'll go for a lot more spore bursts. Let's see if we just start getting random ones periodically. So far, it doesn't appear to be that way, but maybe that'll change later. I'm not too sure yet. We'll go for some air transmission. There's the respiratory infection, which makes some sense. We could get air 2, which is pretty darn good. Especially nice in the arid environments, which will help me get out of Saudi Arabia a little bit sooner. So if I can store up 19 DNA, I will absolutely do that. 17, not quite enough. Come on! Spore bursts! Now, I will say this kind of rebalances the scenario entirely if you don't have like 15 or 20 spore bursts that you're able to do at the beginning of the game. Because it used to be with the pathostasis, you could do a little bit of an exploit there. But that does not appear to be the case in here, which actually completely rebalances the fungus, presumably in a good way. I guess we'll find out. Let's pick up the mycelium. We have arid adaption, so better in hot and arid countries, and then mycelium network, which is better in... Nope, doesn't say anything, actually. Fungus starts forming its own organism within the host, increased chance to infect and longevity of the disease, unlocks transmission. Just transmission. All right, Festival of Love in Japan. That'll be fun for you. Okay, so let's go for some cysts for a bit more severity so I can get more DNA as I get these red bubbles. Saudi Arabia has already started working on the cure. Can't say that I'm happy about that, but oh well. I didn't see any cold transmission, which does worry me a little bit. Maybe starting off in Saudi Arabia was not the best idea. There's the abscesses. I'll pick that up. And there's coughing, also pretty good. Bloodstream infection. The fungus penetrates the blood veins and spreads deeper into the body. Unlocks several symptoms. And pulmonary edema, which appears to be pretty standard there. So if you want to see what's in the center here, we probably either need to unlock more things, or we need to get things like digestive infection and start working our way down that. Maybe I would have gone for the... Maybe I would have gone for the transstasis, to be honest. So far, the abilities aren't wowing me exactly, whereas these transmissions are pretty good. Salt tolerance. Tolerates higher concentrations of salt, increasing food infection and sea transmission. You know, that's something I think a lot of people overlook, is salt is kind of the bane of a lot of infections and stuff like that, right? I mean, viruses and bacteria don't exactly survive in salt, do they? So yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. And then there's chemical cleaning tolerance, which is better for the chemically treated water. So there you go. Yeah, okay, we could probably use more of that. Honestly, though, wow, we actually hit these countries really rapidly. I'm not sure we need more water transmission. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I'm going to regret not having this sporadic transmission, though, aren't I? Let's pick it up. There's extreme bioaerosol, which is actually weaker than everything we've had before. But it is pretty good in humid and arid climates. I think we can pass without this. We'll be okay. Let's keep working down the symptoms, though. We have a few options. Heart growth. The fungus starts growing around the heart, giving the infected an irregular heartbeat and increased chance of heart problems. Very lethal. Youch. Nausea. A little bit of discomfort, which is probably good for the Festival of Love, so we'll pick it up for fun. There's vomiting. Blood-brain barrier. The fungus passes the blood-brain barrier, significantly increases difficulty to find a cure. A lot of DNA to get that. It seems like you ripped that off of the Neurax worm. I'm not sure. Lymph node infection. The fungus breeds fast in the lymph nodes and causes problems for the immune system. And then there's systemic infection, which is also lethal. Let's go back to the abilities for a second. Let's pick up some drug resistance. We could go for arid, but I think we're good in that. So really, if I could find some cold resistance, that's what I'm looking for. Let's go for the mycelium network. There's the health conservation, which is better for cold network stuff. So let's pick that up. Uncontrollable, sort of misspelled, I think, growth. The fungus starts growing like a tumor inside the host's body by feeding off the nutrients around it. Increases corpse transmission and lethality. That sounds pretty good and would actually incentivize me to get a lot of lethality, but without having extra spore bursts, I'm a little concerned about getting into places like Greenland. Defensive toxins. The fungus starts making defensive toxins to defend itself against attackers or competitors. Better infectivity and severity, a little bit of lethality. I probably want to save up for drug resistance level 2, to be honest, because I think that's going to go well for me. I am a little concerned that I may have screwed myself by not picking up the spore burst later. That was my trump card in case I didn't get into an island. Oh well, let's see what else we got though. Lymph node, let's see what happens if I get that. Pulmonary fibrosis, which is a little bit of lethality. Immune suppression can be lethal. I mean, it seems to me like heart growth is the way to go. It's a little expensive, but it's the same cost as pulmonary fibrosis. Again, oh, there it is. The real question is, can I get a boat into some of these islands before it is too late? And the answer is probably no. We may be in a bit of trouble. Let's go for the extreme bioaerosol to increase our odds. I actually do have to devolve this for now. Too much lethality means they're going to shut down their borders before I am ready. So please get me onto an island or two. Anything will do. Now the fungus does naturally, I think, have some penalties to cross-transmission, which is one of the reasons that you have to use a spore burst to try and make up for that. But it looks to me like we may be in a bit of trouble. We can't get into New Guinea. So if I don't find a new option, we may be in trouble. Can I? You know, I've tried this before and I don't think it works, but let's give it a shot. Let's refund this thing and then pick it up again and see what happens. No, that was too much to hope for. Okay, I didn't think that would work. It's a silly exploit, but it was worth a shot. Extra human growth. Mycelical network. Skin to skin. Contact. Food growth. Rapid growth on food. Releases spores. This might be what I was looking for right there. Ah, shoot. I don't know if I'm going to get enough DNA to continue working down that route anymore. Well, at least the CDC failed to find patient 0. That's a relief. Should have gone for extra DNA from blue bubbles. I think I may have to restart the humongous fungus, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to have to save my spore burst for the future because that was a little bit too aggressive, I think. All right, restart. Okay, I definitely think that the transmission has been a little easier. If you go for transstasis, yeah, save a lot more points. So we did get into Greenland, which means now I think we can start ramping up some lethality, so let's go ahead and do some of that. Lymph nodes plus... let's go for the blood-brain barrier to slow down the cure. I don't want to kill too quickly, but it looks like we're not having that much trouble in places like Greenland, so yeah, let's go ahead and ramp that up. Congestive heart failure. The heart becomes weakened and fails to pump through enough body through the body. Okay. Internal hemorrhaging. Now that just looks horrifying. It does kind of look like a fungus is growing out of your heart, right? The fungus eats away most of the heart's tissue, which causes it to rupture and make the host die very quickly. You are very dead right now. Very quickly dead now. There's systemic infection, which is nice. If we could please kill a little faster so I can get some more DNA, that'll do, thank you. Now die very rapidly. Let the fungus grow out of your hearts, you heartless people. Yes, this seems to be working pretty nicely. Could go for the renal failure as well. Concentrating mass around the kidneys. Let's pick it up. I was hoping to see what was going to come next. Ah, well, that's fine. I guess we don't really need to have it. And we'll just grab ourselves... I wanted to get some genetic reshuffle, but it appears we're not having enough DNA. Just try to buy ourselves a little bit more score before the end of it. All in all, though, yeah, not a bad scenario at all. I actually kind of like some of the rebalancing. I will say that it's a little less forgiving when it comes to the islands. And maybe I'm just spoiled when it comes to the fungus with the spore bursts getting onto said islands. But the fungus does seem to struggle with that a tiny little bit. You really do have to go for that extreme bioaerosol if you want to make it through. At least that was my experience there, which is why transstasis made it a heck of a lot easier. Go for a couple of early symptoms to get yourself some severity so you get more DNA from red bubbles, then focus on nothing but transmissions until you get the extreme bioaerosol, and then boom! Things seem to work out pretty nicely for me. 60,000 points, 2 stars, 397 days. Not as fast as I kind of wanted it to be, but oh well. It is something new for me. Yeah, not half bad, Mushroom. You did a pretty good job there. I kind of like some of the rebalancing. I missed some of the spore bursts. Maybe there's a way to work in a little bit more of that to make the fungus feel more unique. But, yeah, it seems to work pretty well. Good job. Good job indeed. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.